Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, about 7:30 in the morning. Had a busy day yesterday. Wow. And that Lando and I cleaning pig pens, and Lando and I then went towards Taliban to one of the milling places and picked up 11 sacks of rice hulls because we're out of the rice hay for bedding. So now we're going to be using that for bedding for the pigs, and of course then into the compost piles and that. So yeah, busy. And then Lando got water most of the afternoon, and I sat down, and you can see here all my beans, some of my beans are coming here pretty good, but and you can still see the soil's a little dark by the beans where we watered. Cucumbers over here looking good, and they're still a little wet here until the sun really pops up here. And of course my onions, my palya. Oh, cucumbers on the other side. Cucumbers here are actually starting to flower, but I've noticed some bugs kind of eating them, so I'm gonna try to, I think, do some garlic and pound it up and use the juice and that, and see if we can get away. But some of the cucumbers are starting to flower here, which is good. Oh yeah, but the project for today I've already started, about 6 o'clock or before, is trimming trees. And I trimmed down all these coconut trees here, and basically anything that looks like, yeah, that bottom one over there, I should probably trim that down. That's going to be done here pretty soon. And I bring them all up here and that, and then I'll strip the leaves off of them, and the stalks there for the bamboo, we take them up, hang them up, and let them dry out, and eventually they make really good firewood. And what I call, oh geez, kind of, as you can see here, the stuff that almost like a netting here, the stuff that surrounds each one of the coconut stalks and that, I'm going to take and you can see here how they encircle. Well, when that dries out, boy, excellent fire starter, excellent. And that, so leave it out in the sun, leave it dry out, and then Beth can use it to start the fires, because like I said, we still cook all the dog food over an open fire. But all this, like I said, it really dries out and burns real good, and a good fire starter. And probably even in a wetter climate, if you can dry it out, and that would be a good fire starter here. So that's kind of be our work for the day. And trimming the banana trees, I like to trim them down to about 4 leaves and go through and take out the dead stuff and trim back. And the ideal situation there is by trimming them, of course they're going to grow taller, and that, and it kind of cleans it out, takes all the dead stuff out. The bugs, once that coating on the outside kind of dies of the banana tree, the bugs crawl up underneath there where it's still got some moisture, and that's where they like to lay their eggs. So it's kind of nice to see the green stalks again, pretty well all the way up. And of course, as you can see, I've already gone through this morning and chopped down quite a bit. And like I said, I like to keep the tops there about 4 leaves or so. And I was told by one of the Filipinos that used to work on a commercial banana plantation, that's kind of what they do. And then they trim back the little ones to only like 3 or 4, which means I've got about twice as many there as I should have. But we do have one bunch of bananas growing here. But we'll pick all these up. Lando, when he comes in this morning, we'll pick all the green stuff up, and what I then do is I chop up the leaves and the stalks and feed it to the pigs. It's more or less a supplement, and they love this stuff, and especially with the heat that we've been through, because there's a lot of moisture in the stalks and that the banana. And like I said, once the banana produces fruit, like this one right here, that particular stalk will never produce again. So when it's done and they're ripe and you take them, you cut down the stalk, and that's why they send up so many new shoots, as you can see on the bottom here, to replace the ones. I do believe, and I'm not sure about this, but after a time the root kind of dies, and I've run into that here a couple of times, and you basically kind of have to, and it really turns back into soil again in a sense. So I'm kind of curious if after, because this was our first stretch of banana trees right here, so we're looking at close to 7, coming up on 7 years old. And I know I actually planted this one first, did no composting at all, had all kinds of problems, and the ground is pretty hard up here in the hill. And then I did this one here, and this is where I started my composting, and all at once the banana trees took off like crazy. And found out that in order to be able to do this, you really gotta, and that includes all the trees, you gotta feed them. So that's why I put the compost row in here. But as you can see by all the small banana trees here, the last drought, and I'm afraid it's not over, just completely obliterated 2 of my banana fields. And we're going to be doing a lot of new planting and that yet this year. And of course now the rain, unfortunately the rain has stopped again. 2 weeks today, I think it is, since we had our last rain, just the first couple days of August, and wow, with 100-degree heat. Except yesterday we never quite reached 194, which was kind of odd, and it looked like rain, and it thundered all night, and guess what? Not a drop of rain. So that's kind of the way it goes up here. I'm hoping the drought's not back here, but like I said, this is turning out to be a repeat of exactly what happened last summer. So from the back of the camera here, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Everybody have a good day. Try to get back to you a little bit later on. And until then, I sincerely hope that God blesses every single one of you.